The Cleveland Cavaliers avoided doomsday, delivering an encouraging 107-90 victory in Game 2 of the NBA playoffs. The Cavs held a commanding lead over the New York Knicks for a majority of the game and played their brand of basketball that they had become known for. It was a gripping 48 minutes of lockdown defense, creative offensive sets, and elite shot making from the Cavaliers as they tied the series 1-1. The biggest difference in this game was the approach from the Cavaliers offense. After an unusually quiet Game 1, Darius Garland diced the Knicks for a career-high 26 first-half points. He was aggressive from the jump, spraying three-pointers and forcing his way to the free throw line 11 times in the first half alone. JB Bickerstaff made some key adjustments to get Darius Garland rolling offensively, utilizing his other guards more in screen actions. Watch Garland's opening shot, where Allen screens his man, and then Mitchell stagger screens the big to free up enough space for Garland to shoot on the drop. Spacing was a major concern in Game 1, as the Knicks trapped and overloaded on screens to stop Cleveland from getting into their usual offense. Rather than trying to tackle that length again, JB worked to get New York's backcourt more involved in the action. And this was done by using a three-guard lineup of LeVert, Mitchell, and Garland to set screens for each other. The Cavs used LeVert as a ghost screener on this play, creating enough confusion for Mitchell to make an easy pass to a floater for LeVert.
LeVert finds an opening, a floater on the floor.
Then on this play, LeVert screens for Garland, then flares out for a wide-open three-pointer as the Knicks attempt to blitz the same way they did in Game 1.
His way inside the arc. LeVert gritty.
And again, LeVert screens for Garland, the Knicks trap, allowing LeVert to do what he does best, attacking downhill and dropping a dime to Jarrett Allen. The four-man group of LeVert, Garland, Mitchell, and Allen posted a plus 28 in their 17 minutes together, going plus 18 in just an 8-minute burst during the second quarter. Later in the third quarter, LeVert screens for Mitchell and then immediately tacks off the catch. Notice how the backside help is nowhere to be found, with Randall and Hartenstein too focused on making sure Danny Green isn't left open for a three-pointer in the corner. This improved spacing and quick decision-making was enough for Cleveland to break free from their pitfalls in Game 1 and get into a groove offensively. Evan Mobley started the game slow, going 0 for 4 from the field in the opening minutes of the first half, but finished shooting 6 of 7 from the field once the Cavaliers' offense settled down. It was the first time all series Mobley had genuine space to work with. The same can be said for Allen, who was able to gobble up 6 offensive rebounds as the Knicks were forced to spread the floor defensively, opening up a path for easy putback opportunities. In Game 1, Donovan Mitchell attempted 30 field goals out of necessity when Cleveland's lack of shooting resulted in a stagnant, iso-centric offense. But when JB yanked Isaac Okoro after just 3 minutes, opting to play Osman with the starters, Donovan Mitchell was able to spend more time as a facilitator, dishing a playoff career-high 13 assists. With proper spacing, Mitchell is able to run an empty side pick and roll with Allen, dump it to the big, and then get a clean kick out to a wide open Darius Garland. Mitchell is the ultimate scoring threat, and when the backside defense isn't able to load up because of Cleveland's lack of spacing, Mitchell is able to make quick and easy reads to his big men. Like on this play, where the Knicks defense is entirely too concerned with sticking close to Cleveland shooters in transition, that Mobley is able to sneak right through the defense for a dunk. Or this play, where Randall is so intent on stopping Mitchell's potential drive that he completely loses sight of Mobley, and since LeVert is the one in the opposite corner, New York doesn't have the bodies to take away the baseline drive. Compare this to a play earlier in the game, when Mobley catches the ball on the roll, but gets stifled by 3 defenders as Isaac Okoro is completely ignored in the corner. Even with Cedi Osman shooting 1 for 7 from deep in this game, his relentless movement without the ball gave the Cavalier guards a quality release valve every time they felt the defense overloading on them. Again, compare this to Game 1, when New York was able to take Cleveland completely by surprise, blitzing the ball handler while Garland had no one available to pass to. The results aren't always the most important thing. Simply having a clean option to kick the ball out to when the defense starts to overcommit is all it takes to keep an offense from going stagnant, even if the shot doesn't drop. Cedi's decisiveness with the ball made it so much easier for Cleveland, setting the screen here and then attacking off the catch to get an easy look in the paint.
From the floor. With a nice spinning move inside for 2.
With Mitchell on the controls and the supporting cast setting the stage, Darius Garland was able to finally get comfortable in this series and let it fly from deep. He drilled 4 three-pointers in the first half, matching his total attempts from Game 1. The offense was rolling, and the defense was clicking to create a perfect storm for Garland to have his coming out party on the big stage.
Sneaks a pass in there. with another turnover. Cavaliers come back the other way. 9 turnovers for the Knicks. Garland 3.
By the time New York even realized what was happening, Cleveland was already in Cavalanche territory, outscoring the Knicks 34-17 in the second quarter.
Green tees one up from 3.
And while JB's adjustments on offense were crucial to getting the Cavs back on track in this series, it was their bone-crushing defense that once again served as their identity. The Knicks shot poorly in Game 1 and even worse in Game 2, connecting on just 36% of their field goal attempts for 90 total points. They again scored well below their average in the paint, only putting up 38 points in Game 2. The Cavs felt like they were outplayed from a physical standpoint in Game 1 and made sure that wouldn't be the case in Game 2.
Robinson tries to get it, snaring it inside. He digs it out. Oh, it's very congested in that paint.
It was the definition of a scrambling team effort, with the guards and wings making up for their lack of production on the glass by scavenging for 20 rebounds in this game, all to help out Mobley and Allen, who once again led all rebounders with 23 combined boards. Rebounding as a unit was a downfall of the Cavaliers in Game 1, but this improved effort ensured New York couldn't claw their way back into the game on the glass. And the Cavs forced the Knicks into 14 turnovers in the first half, more than their entire total from Game 1.
Now with full court pressure, and Hart fumbles it away on the inbound throw from Randall.
The decision to aggressively trap New York's guards paid off, as it didn't seem like the Knicks had prepared for this type of response. This took the ball out of Brunson's hands and forced the other Knicks to have to step up and make shots. But while the Cavs were able to respond to New York's trapping with their own 3-guard lineup, Barrett and Quickly struggled for the Knicks again in Game 2. Barrett is 1 for 8 from deep in this series, and just 6 of 25 from the floor overall. Meanwhile, Quickly found himself Cleveland's main target on offense, only staying on the court for 7 minutes in the first half, while being hounded defensively for only 1 field goal attempt. Darius Garland deserves immense praise for his defense in Game 2.
Hartenstein has come in for New York. Here is Toppin, thought 3, takes the majority of his shots from 3-point territory. With the shot clock at 5, the drive by Grimes and a foul called.
Meanwhile, Mitchell, Osman, LeVert, and even Danny Green were scrapping in the paint to make life difficult for New York. It was a much more physical game from the Cavs, and they erased any doubt about their toughness on this side of the floor.
Fouled aggressively, Robinson pulled down with Allen. It's picked up. Randall in there trying to clear traffic. Triple team, ball stripped out of bounds. It's off of New York.
Mobley continues to do a fantastic job mirroring Randall and keeping him out of the paint. Randall had to work hard for everything in this game, shooting just 8 for 20 in Game 2 and 15 of 40 overall in the series.
19 for Garland, who's exploded. Randall takes it in. He tries to explode it, then it's knocked away. Rebound collected by Barrett. Another chance. LeVert works on Randall. There's a cross-court.
Jarrett Allen was as sturdy as ever, blocking 3 shots and being the difference maker whenever Cleveland's point of attack collapsed.
Recognized 2 defenders on him and finds his tower mate in Mobley.
Good hesitation by Randall. Takes it in. Allen got a hand on it.
This series is going to boil down to whether or not New York's supporting cast can do enough to counter Cleveland's efforts on Randall and Brunson. And while Emmanuel Quickly still feels like a ticking time bomb that could give the Cavaliers trouble, the bench battle has been split 50-50 across the opening games of this series. LeVert put up 24 points in Game 2, nearly outscoring the entire Knicks bench on his own. Danny Green was able to play 19 minutes in this game without being hunted defensively, and if he continues to hold his own, the Cavaliers gain another floor-spacing weapon that can really swing things in their favor. Obi Toppin or Quentin Grimes could open things up for the Knicks if Cleveland continues to aggressively trap Brunson, but so far, those two are shooting just 3 for 12 from deep. Game 3 is going to be a bloodbath in Madison Square Garden, with tempers flaring between the two teams. It's a best-of-5 series now, and the ball is in New York's court to make adjustments, as the Cavaliers might have just shown their best hand.
Garland the other way. Makes a move, step back, triple, quickly defends. What a stroke! Garland